Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
All right, we're here at one of my favorite places in town, at outside Bread and Butter Kitchen. I gotta say, it's very crowded in there, so I'm very happy for Monica, but it's a little bit chilly out here. I think winter's coming, but we're sitting down here with Judy Buddensick, who is the principal, CEO, janitor, and everything else of Francis Marketing Group. How are you?
I'm fantastic today, but I agree, it is a little chilly outside.
Well, you know, this is actually it's part of the plan here, because I know that you can go on and on and on forever, and I figure that you'll like freeze yourself out before you end up being quiet. Well, you know, Judy and I do go back a while. We crossed paths, I think, at WRNR at one point. I don't know whether we were actually working together there. I think we may have been for a little bit, and then crossed paths. But you have a long and prolific career in radio and advertising and marketing. Locally, you're like that little toddler that gets into mom's makeup and makes and leaves marks all over the city with your volunteerism.
Good thing or bad thing?
That's a good thing. It's a great analogy. I thought long and hard on that. But you do. I mean, you are involved with the United States Naval Academy Alumni Association. You're the Downtown Annapolis Partnership, the Annapolis Police Department Foundation, and rumor has it is that you're in very tight with Elfie, that elf that goes around for Midnight Madness, and you may even have pictures of her naked. Is that true?
There are no pictures of Elfie naked.
Professionally, you are Francis Marketing Group.
I am.
And that's what we wanted to talk about here. Now, is it fair to say that you are a boutique marketing agency?
Yes, I like that word very much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what it means, but it means small,
It means
nimble.
small, and we can work with you on everything. So if you walked into a boutique, a client that I have,
Yeah.
If you walked in, you could get your shoes and your dress and your earring, same way. We work with people on their inbound and their outbound. So I work with less clients and a lot deeper on each of their clients and what they do and how we're marketing them.
There are a gazillion marketing firms worldwide. There
are a gazillion marketing firms in Annapolis.
A gazillion less one in Annapolis. But what sets you guys apart? I think I know the answer, but I'll tell you what I think after you tell me what you think, and I'll see if we agree.
I am my mother's daughter. My mom was a young widow, raised all of us. Her parents were. I got the volunteerism from her. The grandparents were all immigrants. But my mom would see something, dive in, get it done, move on to the next thing because she had to keep going. And I get a lot of that from her. That's why I named the company after her. I'm not afraid of any challenge. So if a client's got something we got to work on, let's roll up our sleeves and do it. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes we don't find the solution, but I'm not afraid to try something and try something new.
That's something that too few businesses are willing to do to take. I mean, a lot of people like to play it safe, and I'm not saying that you need to play it risky, but to take a chance to try something new. A lot of people are resistant to any kind of a change, and usually that's where the successes lie. In there, it's like, wow, okay, that worked. What I was actually going to say, as far as because I don't know your mother, was that you are a super, super small company. I mean, you have a staff of like one. When I work with Francis Marketing Group, I'm working with Judy, Francis's kid. And, I'm not working with, I know there's some companies that hire these larger firms that, it's like, okay, who's the associate of the week?
Who am I talking to? Wait, who's next up in queue on the customer service line? No.
And I do think that really is something that does set you apart. I mean, I know some of the clients that you've worked with, that have said that. It's really nice that I can call up, I can talk to Judy right away. I can say, I can change things in a heartbeat. So that's really kind of, but can't be everything to everybody. And I don't think any marketing firm tries to be.
And you know what? And this is the beauty of owning your own company, because if I did this working for someone else, I'd probably lose my job. But I have walked away from the table and said, I'm not the agency you want. And the client is like, but wait, what? I'm like, I don't think we're the right fit for you. And I've been happy to introduce them to somebody else. But I think that's a big thing. Like the people that I work with, I absolutely love working with them.
Again, what services do you offer or don't you offer, maybe, is the question to go. And because, if I'm looking to do, I don't know, I'm going to say a Super Bowl ad with you. That's probably, I'm guessing, is out of your wheelhouse.
Not necessarily, because I do have friends in video production.
Okay.
So we could work on something if that made sense, if that made sense for the person.
Right.
I mean, I think if we learned nothing during COVID was that we can pivot. You've got to respond with what's the problem, how do we fix it, what are the options. Sometimes there's a multitude of options that we can go with, hey, we can try A, B, C, or D, or we go, oh, we better hope A works because there's not a C, B, C, or D coming.
Right.
But that's the fun part. I'm willing to try. If the client's willing to try, and sometimes we hit it out of the ballpark, sometimes we're like, yeah, let's not do that again.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, so what are your core services that Francis Marketing Group offers? Let me interrupt you real quick, but francismarketing.com is the website, and it's FRANCES, not like the IS in Stripes.
Right, like Francis in the lady's name.
Right.
I like to start with someone's website because that's their online brick and mortar. But if they've got a website and it's working for them, that's fine. We can keep that there. Try to identify what the growth is they want. I've met with a lot of people, though, who will have specific goals in mind, but the path they want to take is the other way. They're kind of telling you they have green shoes. They want to sell all these green shoes. They've got too many green shoes in store. But then when you go on the website, they have red shoes and brown shoes.
Right, okay.
Well, we can't sell green shoes if you don't tell people that. So a lot of times we just do a deep dive and go, where are we really? And what is it that you really want to accomplish? Because there may be a different path to get where you want to go. So it might be part of an inbound marketing program where someone's kind of searching for what you do, where you do it, or it's outbound, whether it is paid ads on radio, television, print, any different option, but we try to look at how to manage to make sure the inbound and the outbound work together.
Can you quickly ELI 5 in Reddit terms, but explain like I'm 5? What's inbound and outbound marketing?
Inbound is I need a new car. So I sit down online and I start searching for a car that I need. Outbound
and
is...
Maserati comes right up for you.
It does, right at the top. I think it's Sheehy Lexus I saw at the top of the page.
Shameless plug for the Downtown Annapolis Partnership in Midnight Madness. Well done. Okay.
Outbound is that I'm driving and my car is making sputtering sounds. I'm like, dang, I need a new car. I really do. And suddenly that commercial comes on the radio. That was outbound. That commercial was going to run whether you needed a car or not. So it might hit you and affect you because you need it, or it goes right over your head because it's irrelevant. So the difference is what the consumer's doing. Is the consumer actively looking for something, or are they passively doing something else?
Okay, so outbound is typically what we would consider traditional advertising and
Correct.
marketing. Okay,
Yes.
we've printed an ad in a magazine, or we
Exactly.
put it online and hoping to get the right person at the right time at the right
Correct.
with the right budget. And inbound is actually somebody looking for it. So that would be, I guess, like SEO.
So that's your SEO, and that's the biggest thing. Some of the paid ads on that, and some of the social media that goes with that. But that's being able to so that when that person just types in what they need, because at the end of the day, 94% of the world is not going past page 1 when they search online. So
Right.
you want to be there when they're looking.
Right. Who's your ideal client? Don't name names. I mean, I'm not asking you to pick favorites, but I mean, I could build a business right here in the parking lot at Bread and Butter Kitchen that needs Francis Marketing Group to help. How big are they? What is that ideal client, or don't you have one?
I don't have an ideal client because I can work with, depending on what the project is, I may be working with someone on just a specific project and they may have another agency for something else. So I enjoy really rolling up our sleeves, figuring out what the issue is, what the concern is. So I have some clients that I've worked with from before they opened their doors, and we built a foundation and worked our way up into their website and into the outbound marketing that they have now. And I have other folks that have been around forever. So I just came into, I may have come into the picture 50 years after they opened.
Okay, interesting. So, what is the bulk of your business? I mean, are you on board as a marketing consultant? I mean, obviously you can be on board as a marketing consultant. I can say, okay, I want to retain you, and I don't want to get into the whole pricing thing or anything like that. But I mean, I can retain you, and you can handle, I guess, blog postings and website updates and
correct,
and Google ads and Facebook ads and
print
all
ads, radio ads, TV ads, any of those things that they want.
And I can also turn around and say, okay, look, I need to grow listeners to my podcast. I want to bring you in to do just this. The rest of my business is cool. I just need to grow that. And then you could come in and do that. And once we hit, whatever criteria
there was a specific goal that we hit, that project is over. And
you go off to the...
And we go off to something else. And in other cases, they're ongoing on every single month. SEO is an ongoing thing because Google's not looking for you to do it 2 or 3 months in a row and disappear.
Right. How does the bulk of your clients go to that? I mean, are you mostly doing long-term stuff or are you mostly doing projects?
Most of them are long-term. Where we're doing their SEO, we're working on their social media, making sure they're found, making sure everything's correct. I work with a lot of restaurants. They change a menu. You've got to get that out there before someone's asking for something that they took off the menu 2 years ago. All different kinds of businesses. So service businesses. I love promotions and events. A lot of what I do with the Alumni Association is work on. We just finished their golf tournament.
Sure.
Now I'm working on Council of Class Presidents, so I work on all of the events that go on, and all of their events have very, very different targets. So iDay, the sponsors that I reach out to for iDay are completely different than the people that I would have, perhaps at a parents, rather at an alumni function. That would be more that's parents and families coming in. So
okay.
Each is very, very different.
Do you prefer working long-term or do you prefer working on a specific project?
I like both because it's nice to have the long-term that this is consistent. This is the monthly.
There's going to be a check coming at the end of the month.
Right.
Let's be real. As a small company.
Yeah. No, that this is here. This is consistent. Typically, with something that may be a one-off project, there's more money to be made in something like that because you're putting in that here's this time. Here is a very small window of time that we're doing this and achieving this. So
very tightly focused.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just out of curiosity, I mean, with all of your experience going back into radio, you said you work with video, you can work with 3D. I mean, just everything that you've done, and plus what you've learned in Francis Marketing Group. Now, you've been around for what, 7?
We'll be 6 in February.
Okay, I knew it was close to there. But what is the biggest bang for the buck in marketing today? I mean, you've got. I'm going to venture to say that a print ad in a newspaper isn't ranking the highest, and I don't know that, but I'm just saying that. What's the biggest bang for a buck?
I do think that your SEO really is. Mm-hmm. Every month, we run the reports on our clients to see how many clicks they got. Are these new visitors or repeat visitors, old visitors? What's going on? Is it the same steady customer coming back, or are we bringing new people in? And really, I'm looking for the new people because once a customer's yours, that's your job to manage it. My job is to get those new people coming to look more and learn more.
A lot of what I do. I mean, people are like, well, I said, once I send them to you.
Exactly.
I wash my hands. There's not much I can do, and similarly, it's just like a retail store. I mean, if we walk into a bread and butter kitchen, and the food sucks, which it doesn't. I'm not coming back. So as soon as I walk in the door, and that may be her outbound or inbound that drew me in that, but she's got to make a good breakfast wrap, or she's got to make a good food.
And that's what happens. Where a lot of times. That's specifically why we look at it. And the important thing is, so when someone may be away for a long time and come back, we need you to still be there so they can find you. Because it may be a repeat customer, but they might not have been in 3 years. But they came because they sat down and they searched for something. So we want to keep that relationship that's going between the business and their customer base.
Makes sense to me.
And it's fun. It really is.
Do you like, I mean, you spent the bulk of your career to date, because we're both spring chickens, face it, but you spent the bulk of your career working for somebody else. Mm-hmm. Do you like working for yourself?
Oh, God, yes. You know what?
Does it scare the crap out of you?
Sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm single, so there's no bad. I'm single and I'm in sales. Let's face it.
Right.
There's no room for having a bad month. You get out and work, but that's okay. That's
By the way, that
beauty
was a
of
nice plug for being single there too. Okay, so I'm just counting out here. We got. I had to put little dings in there when Judy slides his little plug in there. Ding.
But it's true, so there's no one to complain if I wake up on Saturday morning and I'm working on some social media or I'm working on some things that I want to do. So maybe I probably work a little too much. But that's
funny.
Okay.
I started out working for myself when I owned several travel agencies back in '97. I bought my first one. And it's absolutely terrifying, and even more terrifying when you realize that you're responsible for employees and then putting food on their table and stuff like that. But I would never change it for the world because my kids were younger at the time, and I was able to go to the baseball games. I was able to do this and make my own thing. And yes, as you said, I am up at 2:00 in the morning doing some damn report for a client or whatever it may be. You find the time to do it.
Right.
Okay, I know that I'm going to take...
And then you can fall asleep after that going, okay, I'm good.
I'm good.
Everything else I can do later.
What's the future look like for you? I mean, obviously, keep on keeping on. But I mean, are you looking to expand? I mean, you're primarily really focused on the Annapolis, Anne Arundel market, correct?
I am typically.
I mean,
most of our
I'm sure
clients are in there. I do projects, do some one-off projects and things in other areas. But most of my client base is here local. I like that.
Well, let's say I am a business and I am not sure whether I need a marketing company to work on a project or on long-term basis. Maybe I'm not sure what I need to do just to take my business to the next level. What's the best way to get in touch with you, and how do we work with you?
They can jump on the website, send me an email through the website. They can call me.
And then you just have all starts with a conversation?
All starts with a conversation. Sometimes we may be halfway through the conversation and I know I'm not the right person for them. I'm not the person they need, and I can refer them off to somebody else. I think that's the beauty of it, too, that most of the agencies around here, we know each other. So we try to really... Yeah, I mean, we're all doing the same thing. Some specialize in other things, and I've passed off business and said, why don't you call them? I think they might be a better fit. But otherwise, we may sit down and go, this is perfect. Let's do this and let's go. And again, same thing. We might get together and I'll say, I think you should keep doing what you're doing over here. I'm going to work with you in this lane over here.
Okay. I'm working with the green shoes. Yeah. You keep selling the red and the brown ones.
Keep selling the reds over there. We'll do this over here, and we'll work on it. So some projects have led to more business with clients, and in others, I still do just a piece of what they're doing, and there are other teams that do the rest of it. That's fun.
That's fantastic. FrancisMarketing.com, FRANCES. Marketing.com is where you want to go to start. Personally, I can tell you that Judy is a fun, as you can tell from listening to the last little bit, but, is fun, very easy to work for. You are, responsive. You are open for criticism and for suggestions and everything else, which is exactly what you want in a partner when it comes to any kind of marketing. You want to be able to sit there and say, you may come up with some idea, and I'm like, ethically, and I'm not saying that you would, but ethically it doesn't fit with my psyche, or maybe maybe I'm an alcoholic and I don't want to promote a happy hour at my place because of what there's all sorts of things, and it's great that you can work and go back and forth with each other. But if you are a small or a medium-sized business, primarily in...
I like that you said alcoholic because I work with so many programs for people in recovery. That was very good. I like that.
Ding! There's another plug. But if you are a small or a medium-sized company in Annapolis or Anne Arundel County, for the most part. I mean, if you're outside, that's fine too. But give Judy a call. See what she can do for you. I mean, there's,
I have several clients on Ken Island.
Ooh, there you go. On the other, you went to the dark side.
Cross the bridge.
On the dark side. Fantastic. Judy, thank you so much for your time this morning. And, congratulations on nearly 6 years. Thanks so much.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.